On this episode of Chicago Beer Pass, Nick and I are at District Brew Yards chatting with Bulldog Beer, Around the Bend, and Burnt City. You these last 3 weeks of the week. What'd you make it to?
Yeah, because, you know, get a cork popped out, boop, it just flies like fucking 10 feet. We're like, yeah, let's do it. The legend, Mr. Pete Crowley. I love Pete Crowley, man.
How's that beer? It's what you think it is.
It'll be like the stuff you hear. You ever go to, every time you go to Floyd's, all the music sounds like this. Raw, raw, raw.
Hey, and welcome to Chicago Beer Pass. I'm Brad Chmielewski.
Brad, what's up, man? I'm Nik White.
And we are on site with the big crew here.
On location, man. We're in the big table. It's kind of quiet in here today because this is their off day, so thank them all for showing up. No, they're close. They're close to the public today, but they're not off today. It's Brew Day at the District Brew Yards, man.
Right. So we should just go around the table here and everyone introduce themselves, and then we can kind of dive into what's happening here.
Yeah, right on, man.
Who's kicking things off?
You go first.
Hey, I'm Nick. I'm Scorpio. Yeah, we got three crews, right? We got Bulldog, and of course we have Burnt City, and then we have Around the Bend. So,
Drome, I think this is the third time we've been on?
I know, yeah. You might be you and Chris Jacobson or
the Three Timers Club.
So, Drome, if you haven't met me before, co-founder of Bulldog Beer Company, and my wife Sherry.
Hi, Sherry, as Jerome said, other co-founder of Bulldog Beer Company.
John Saller, one of the founders of Burnt City Brewing.
I'm Ben Saller, John's brother, and another founder and head brewer of Burnt City.
And I'm Dan Shedler. I'm the founder and owner of Around the Bend Beer Company.
It's been awesome to see this project come together. I know Nick and I were pretty excited, like leading up to it, hearing about it, especially that we've talked to you guys multiple times now over the last couple of years.
That's true. Yeah, we've always had the beers. I think we had the beers, and then we had the folks on the show. We had the beers first, and we were like, wait, they're doing this right. Where we used to record. We used to record at Bomb Camp around the corner.
I know, yeah. So we messed up. We shouldn't have moved off.
Dude, now we got this awesome beer hall like around the corner, man.
All right, so you're saying Monday you guys are closed to the public, but you're here brewing. Like, how's the open been since the month now?
Yeah, it's been not quite a month, and it's been incredible. I mean, we had a series of opening events where we received a lot of very positive feedback, and then opening at the end of, our first, in the middle.
2 Fridays ago.
Yeah, so our grand opening was 2 Fridays ago, and we've just been packing the place, and people just seem to have a really good time. People come in, and everybody's just talking to their friends, drinking all the beers. We have about 30 beers on tap right now. Mm-hmm. People are drinking all of them.
And they're drinking them really fast, which is a great problem to have, but we sort of, we didn't want to end up with a bunch of beer getting old, so we sort of stopped brewing for a little while leading up to the launch, and now we're scrambling. We're trying to do 14 turns this week?
Yes, 13.
Which is like 5 more than we've done before.
13?
Well, it's a lot.
I tell everybody we have good problems because we ran out of our number one seller in a little over 3 weeks, and I think we estimated it to last 5 to 6. So good problem to have. And then we got 2 beers that will probably be done by the end of this week, I think. And we're doing a classic West Coast double IPA, which I think is going to blow some people's minds because when do you see a classic double West Coast IPA anymore?
Right, yeah. Yeah, Jerome, like you guys took your beer amount has quadruple, what was
We've done more in the past 2 months than we've done the last 2 years.
That's nuts.
It's kind of terrifying, actually.
A little bit, yeah, but it's been awesome. Yeah.
I feel like I drank a barrel of the OK Fine.
You might have.
Is that where it went?
Yeah.
How has the Pour It Yourself feature been for customers? Like, are people in here and just rolling with the concept? Are they freaking out? Are they fucking up the beers? Like, what's been the gap so far? If any.
Mostly it's been great. You do see that we've been trying to figure out, we've been gradually expanding our hours and trying not to overwhelm the staff, so there have been some gaps in coverage as far as beer guides go, and then you do see people sometimes like doing the wrong thing with the card or pouring themselves a bunch of foam, but then you notice that and you're like, here, let me show you how to do it, give them a quick tutorial, and then it's fine. And then when everybody's in here and we're full and we've got the beer guides, it's amazing because people are going around and they're trying 2 ounces of everything. It actually frees people up to socialize in a way that I hadn't really thought about ahead of time, but like you're not tied to a table waiting for a server to bring you beer, so people are wandering around and like talking to each other and playing games and all sorts of
And what
stuff.
I love seeing is somebody will go and get a beer, like, oh, you gotta try this, and then, oh no, but try mine. And
Yeah.
it's really cool to see.
And with the pour your own technology, it just makes for a really different experience, and people are responding very well. Come in with your friends, and it's not the classic structure of service, kind of like John was alluding to, where there's nothing wrong with the classic, bar and bartender. We love that. We never wanted to go away, but we wanted to do something different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The best example I can think of is a couple weekends ago. There's 2 guys that started at around the Ben's wall, and they literally did an ounce of each tap. And then at the end of it, we were at the last in line, and they're like, all right, well, we tried everything in-house. And they still got it.
In different glasses.
In different.
Jerome's the only one who so far has poured all of the beer into one glass.
I tasted it. It was pretty good.
It was good.
To be fair, I got dared to do that, so if there's a monetary value involved, I usually will do a dare. So
Yeah, those little tastes, like that's something you could do at a traditional bar, but you kind of feel
Not
like
without pissing
you
off
feel
the
like a jerk,
bartender.
right? Like,
Yeah.
You
how
can
many
do one
can
or 2,
Right,
and
exactly.
Then the 3rd one, the guy gives you the stink eye.
Come on, just
One
order.
ounce
Or, you know,
for 30 beers, please.
If it's a place where I know the bartender and they know I'm gonna tip well and stuff like that, like I'll ask for a couple tastes of stuff. But yeah, for the most part, you don't make friends with the bartender asking for 6 samples of beer.
Right.
But you know what the
Or
other interesting
30.
thing about the pour your own technology has been is how in a way it also has just blended into the background, and it's like not about that for
Oh, cool.
people when they come here.
Yeah.
It's really more about, like we said, getting to try a lot of different things, right, in one kind of sitting, and then just being able to go at your own pace and kind of create your own adventure. And like Ben was alluding to, the socializing factor in here has been phenomenal. Like there's no TVs anywhere in here intentionally, and so we're seeing the interaction between people, the game playing. We got
People are
wall
playing
games over
already.
there. They're bringing their own games in. It's just it's kind of unlike any other bar atmosphere I've seen in a lot of ways. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was the inspiration? Like, did you go into it saying, "Hey, this will definitely be self-pour," or did you guys want to have like a cool beer hall? Like,
There were
how'd you
different
arrive here?
opinions amongst our team. Steve and Greg, who are our partners, and Steve is the primary owner of District Brew Yards. He was enamored with the idea, I think, because he has observed the way that technology's been implemented into, this specific technology in some bars that he saw people enjoying themselves. He thought, people are looking for new experiences with technology, with service, and we wanted to create something different.
It wasn't part of the initial pitch when Steve and I sat down, when he floated the idea for broadly what this concept is to me like 2 years ago or so. It's coming up on almost 2 years ago. The initial idea was similar but slightly different. It was having a courtyard in the middle, which kind of mimics what we have here in the beer hall now, but with tap rooms, individual tap rooms surrounding that, but like closed, right? And so it kind of reminds me of having moved from a 1920s house where the kitchen is in the back and it's closed off and there's all these little rooms in the house to like open floor plan today. The idea evolved into this notion of being one big open space, and then the pour your own thing just made so much more sense in that sort of a setting. So it has evolved a little bit over the last 2 years, but that idea of like the pour your own came on pretty quickly.
And I think you're about to see really where it's going to shine. You were talking about the guys who came in and tried 1 ounce of everything. Like now we're at the point where if they come back in 2 weeks, 15 of those beers are going to be different.
Right.
And that's awesome. Like
Yeah.
You said on the technology thing, I think that could be, it's probably too early to tell, but you get some good stats or numbers on like what beers are pouring well.
Yeah.
If
Oh,
like,
yeah.
a beer on the end is pouring better than beers in the middle.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We haven't looked at that.
I haven't looked at that, but I do think, we had our brew pub open for 6.5 years, and we we got to look at a lot of sales data, and when you're just serving pints, it's like if a beer wasn't selling, it just would not sell. Like nobody would buy a pint of ESB, which is sad, but it's just how it is. But like here, literally, there are no, our fastest movers are moving about 3 times faster than our slowest movers, and that's really different from the ratios we used to see at the brew pub.
I think it's been interesting, just from a personal observation. What I'm drinking right now is Kiss Our Saison. This has been our flagship. This is the first beer we ever released, right? So on the wall, we had it just say Kiss Saison.
Yeah.
And it was our lowest seller, and then we were like, you know what? Why don't we change the description on the screen to read Citrus Saison? And it went from like 7-8% sales each week, and then it jumped up to like 12-13% each week with just that one change.
Marketing.
Yeah.
And since people get to choose with that, I mean, we have beer guides here all the time that inform people about the different options and answer questions and certainly weigh in on what they like best. But overall, customers get to kind of make their own decisions with less influence from another party. And so that I hadn't even really thought that much about it until now, but that's going to be really valuable for figuring out what is going to work out in the rest of the world.
Speaking of the beers, we usually talk about the beers at the beginning of the
true.
show.
Yeah.
We didn't even
I think we jumped
mention
right
what we're
into
drinking
it.
right now.
Yeah. My first beer was the New Haze from Burnt City.
Quake-minded.
Quake-minded. There it is. Quake-minded. Yeah, it's the V, but it's pronounced with the W.
Yeah.
Quake-minded. That's the Norwegian farmhouse yeast.
Yeah.
Right on. That was my first beer.
Okay,
Yeah.
and
Would
then you had a backup beer there.
I got a backup beer from Bulldog, and this was what was this? The Kolsch?
Lime, hibiscus lime Kolsch.
Yeah.
Yes. So
nice, and I got the
Cruising.
around the bend Grice.
Grisette.
Grisette.
Calamansi Grisette.
Yeah. What was the Calamante?
It's a fruit from the Philippines, kind of like sour orange meets a lime sort of thing. So a nice light citrus character to the beer.
Nice.
Grisette's like a table beer, right? It's like
Yeah.
a
It's like
Belgian table
a
beer or something?
session saison.
Like a
Yeah.
section saison? Okay.
Nice.
Right on.
And then, do you guys tend to drink your own beers when you're just picking a beer, or like you kind of?
I bounce around.
I drink a lot of. I'd say probably. Yeah, I drink Burnt City beers a little bit more than the others, but I love
you.
drinking. I'm the worst.
Well, but I mean, when you're the brewer when you've designed the recipes, you've presumably designed the recipes because it's what you
You
want
like,
to drink,
yeah.
right? So it makes sense that.
It's a fine project.
No, you gotta design the recipes for what fanboys want to drink. That's why we're gonna throw a bunch of ho-hos in the Pilsner this week.
But yeah, I bounce around.
Yeah.
For sure. But I probably do. I probably hang out at the Burnt City wall most because that's where my friends gravitate to and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And so for that reason, I probably end up drinking more.
I drink a lot of that Grisette and a lot of CeeLo.
Yeah, and I drank a lot of the OK Fine.
And I drink a lot of extra circus and face melter.
Yeah, Villainous is one of my go-tos. So.
Grisette. Grisette's one of mine. And Vera.
In the small amounts that you can
In the
have.
very small amounts I can drink.
I like the Vinny quite a bit.
So how does the brewing work? I know we got a little bit when we were here for the preview, but like what's happening with
Sure.
that?
So the
Yeah, like
each
logistically, how do you pull this?
each brewery or brands, owners, oversee their beers being brewed, their recipes, their processes, and then we are for like operations, just transferring beers and whatnot. It is our crew that mostly came from Burnt City because it's all our equipment that we've been using for years, and so it makes sense that we're doing the grunt work. But yeah, these guys weigh in on every facet of the process for their beers.
Okay.
And I think you can taste the difference from wall to wall just because of subtle things like water chemistry.
Or will you
Dan
use
has
Dan uses different dry hop techniques from Burnt City and different water chemistry, and Bulldog does their own thing in that respect as well. So
I think there's a different point of view from each of the breweries, right?
Yeah.
In terms of what we're trying to achieve. Not one is not right and the others are wrong. They're just different, right? And we end up with a different and great selection of beers for people to be able to choose from because of that.
Now this is the first pub since the pub next door to Delilah's, right? What's one of my favorite parts about that pub was it was bowling, and then there was like all these leagues, right? There was like industry leagues. What are some of the things, summer's coming up, craft beer week's coming up. What are some things you want to do in this new space? Have you guys bouncing ideas around?
we've bounced around a lot of ideas. Obviously, we're not going to have bowling here. The bowling leagues were fun. We did beer industry bowling leagues for 7 years, and
Those
a
are
lot
awesome.
of great memories along with those. We are going to find a new competitive
Something or other.
something or other. We've been a little swamped with just getting the doors open and all the beers ready. So I don't think we pinned anything down, but we're finally over the hump where now we can focus on what we're going to do to have fun.
Well, we got a couple events going on for Craft Beer Week. We're doing a bug after party.
The unofficial after party.
The unofficial
Yeah.
after party.
It's not that far from
It's
it.
Friday.
You get on the
4
green
days
line,
away.
You get on the
Yeah.
green line, it's like 3 stops
That's
from there to
true.
here.
Wow.
So
I didn't think about that. Yeah, right on the street.
So we'll be doing that. Tuesday, we're doing Bring Your Own Vinyl Night. Wednesday is Charity Night, where all 3 brands are going to have part of the proceeds going towards a fundraiser of their choice, charity of their choice. Thursday, we're having a big board game night where it's competing with the brewers in chess, Connect 4, all kinds of different
Game Olympics.
board game Olympics.
How's your
Basically.
chess game, Ben?
Or
Do you want me to bring my 4-way chessboard where 4 people play chess at one
Absolutely
point?
not.
Sounds terrifying.
play backgammon. We're also going to have some beer releases that we haven't pinned down dates because we're letting yeast do its thing and not trying to force it to finish its delicious snack of wort. So Burnt City, we're going to release Christian designed a saison with coffee and vanilla. So that's going to come out during beer week, and I think Bulldog has at least one.
I think we have 2. Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
have Arnie, which used to be our AK Warrior. We changed the name on it, changed the label, but that's big West Coast double IPA. Got some malt in it,
Multi-hoppy.
multi bitter, yeah. And then we're gonna be doing Stevie, which is a Belgian Golden Strong with Idaho Gem. Really,
Super
just
excited
really
for.
interesting hops that's described as candied cherry. So I'm really excited for that one.
And then at Around the Bend, we've got 2 new coming on next week. So Juice Trials is our first solo haze. We did a collab to open up here with our friends over at Maplewood. It's sold out already. But Juice Trials is going to be a new series that we're doing. So double dry hop IPA. The hops will change each time we brew it.
Okay.
Base beer will stay kind of the same. So first time out of the gate, it's El Dorado and Equinaut, and it's straight pineapple right now. It's tasting so good. And then our summer seasonal should be ready to go next week as well. And that is going to be called Ramblin' Rosé, and it's a rosé ale that is both colored and flavored by hibiscus, cranberry, and raspberry. So the underlying beer is an Australian sparkling ale, and then it turns this nice, pink color, like a Provençal rosé wine color, and 5%, just an absolute crusher. It's going to be great around the patios this summer.
Sounds good. Yeah. So then we have 3 walls here. We have a 4th wall behind us that's still empty, right?
Yeah.
So what's the hope? What's the plan going on there?
Well, right now it's just a matter of catching up on our brewing, responding to sales, which are fortunately really good. We didn't want to get ahead of ourselves, as John mentioned earlier, and stockpile too much inventory because freshness is kind of the most important thing. That's what we're doing here.
Yeah.
So when we do get back on top of that, we're going to tap collaboration beers on that wall. And so everything we tap here is going to be made under this roof, with the exception of collaborations that we do at other breweries.
Okay.
So we have bottles of Burnt Cities, collaboration with Illuminated Brewworks. We did an awesome brute IPA with raspberries and orange peel.
So they're not too far from here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
they're super
down.
close.
Yeah. So we couldn't get any kegs of that because we were a little late to get on top of that. We just opened after they had already sold out. So that would be one example. We're working on plans to get some ciders either collaborated on or we're looking to bring in good local ciders while we work on getting our winemaker's license to allow us to.
Winemaker's license, huh?
We're gonna.
Perks up on that one.
So
Tell you, man, in the summer, man, I guess we all back and sit at Millennium Park all summer, man.
Yeah.
Well, they got the movies and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
And we're also going to work with. We have 3 homebrew clubs that we've been in touch with.
Cool.
Hops, Chaos, and Square Kegs, where we're going to collaborate with them, and we're going to just let each club decide what recipe they want to brew and do a 7-barrel batch of that to tap over there.
And there are other, so we're going to be doing a festival devoted to White yeast in the fall, and we've actually got some, Norwegian brewers who are interested. So, the 4th wall would also be a place where we could showcase. I mean, this actually violates Ben's rule that
No,
he
Norway.
said, but
It's brewed in Norway. It's okay.
but we could bring in 4 kegs from our Norwegian brewer friend and have them on tap while the guy's in town, and having flexibility to do a bunch of random stuff over there. This is a podcast. I can swear, right?
Yeah.
Do whatever you want.
And just to clarify, because this has come up a couple times and nobody in the world cares, but I just want to set the record straight. Quake Fest, we're going to have an awesome beer festival celebrating this awesome yeast. We're not going to do the self-pour for that. It's just going to be people pouring beers. So I feel like some people maybe would be rubbed the wrong way by the idea that we're using this traditional ingredient and then, anyway.
Also,
That's a fair distinction
people-
to make, though, right? Yeah.
people are dumbasses enough at beer festivals. You can't let them pour their own.
Yeah, well, that's a good
Yeah,
point.
that
Is
a
it
really
technically pouring though if your mouth is directly on the
I think it is.
I still think, yeah.
Now that you bring that up, that is a concern.
Don't do it, Jerome.
Now, everybody here, I think we were talking about in the pre-show about the party at Soldier Field. What was it called?
Chicago Beer Classic.
Yeah, Chicago
That's
Beer
why I'm
Classic.
burnt.
Oh yeah, everyone's got a little color. Hey, everyone here is Ben, right? How was your experience this year, right? At that party on Soldier Field.
Well, since we just established that we can cuss on this, we had a guy that came up to me after the first session. They had already called last call. They pulled the taps. Nobody's pouring anything, right? No beer is flowing at all. And some guy comes up and is like, "Hey man, let me get a pour." I was like, "They called last call 10 minutes ago. I'm never fucking buying anything from fucking Bulldog ever again." And I was just like,
Yeah.
okay, well, one person out of the 4,000 that were here, so we lost one customer.
Bulldog lost
But
a custody. at Chicago Beer Class.
Yeah, we try to be like as nice as possible, but like that's uncalled for. But other than that, it was fine. Lou Dog, if you listen to this, please never do those tiny 2-ounce mugs again. Those were awful to fill from the jockey box.
Is that what they were pouring?
Yeah,
Like plastic, probably.
Is that Blue Dog or a Red Dog?
I thought it was a red frog.
Red Frog. I mean,
No, it was Blue Dog.
It was Red Frog in the past.
Yeah, it was last
Blue
year.
Dog this year.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all. I saw Blue Dog.
but they had these 2-ounce mugs that were like that big, and they were awful.
Yeah, I didn't personally go this year, but our guys reported that went through a lot of beer. We had some cool ones there.
It was a great weekend for it too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like it's been cold in the past for that.
Yeah.
We're starting to get a little bit more picky on the festivals we're going to be doing. I think moving forward, there's just been so many, and there was, it's called spade. There were a lot of negative, feedback online about that fest this weekend.
Yeah.
And I don't know. We're gonna have to think about that one for next year. But just in general, we're starting to pull back and not do quite as many. We'd rather do the festivals that we know are premier events that people are really enjoying, that are really run well. Bug, comes to mind. Obviously, the Oak
Yeah.
Park Beer Fest.
Yeah, I mean,
Fobab.
Guild
Big
events.
ones. Park's not a guild event anymore.
Of the guild.
yeah, I mean, not to throw any shade around, but Burnt City's also trying to be selective, and like if there's going to be like a 200-person line to get 312 and nobody's coming to drink our new crazy beer that we came up with, probably not a good use of our time.
Yeah, exactly.
And for us, we're so small, we need the sales. So we're gonna do every festival we can.
Yeah, we still need that word of mouth, so you'll probably see us at most festivals still this year.
But we will have sunscreen next time.
Yes, we'll always have sunscreen.
It starts to wear on you after 4 years of going.
Yeah.
Yeah, although there's still I still look forward to Great Taste of the
Oh my God,
Midwest
yeah.
so much.
Again, that's
and
another exception, right?
Beer Under Glass. We're currently not guild members. We'll probably be guild members by Bug next year.
Yeah.
So but that is a very good festival as well.
One of my favorites.
Yeah.
I always like Summer Ale Fest in Grant Park. I just think it's really cool.
I've never done that one.
It's fun. It's just nice.
Yeah,
You're just
we've-
in Grant Park.
We've recorded there, but I
Pouring
haven't
beer.
personally.
And we're trying to get into Fobab this year. That's something we've never done. So
Yeah.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah,
better.
that's one of the other things that I think we're all really excited about here at Brew Yards is the amount of space we have. You can see them, stuck around here. We got more space for even more barrels. So I think we're all looking forward to amping up our barrel aging program, both clean beers and sour beers.
We're starting our barrel age program.
Some starting, some amping up. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we wanna go big for Fobab this year. Burnt City, when we were Atlas a long time ago, we got ourselves a couple Fobab medals like 7 years ago.
Yeah, with
And,
the mightiest of barrel programs. I think when you walked in the pub, there's literally two.
Yeah.
Right,
No,
things under the host
at
stand.
one point we had 4. We had to put one in the bowling alley, and this is a great story. we got some Sauterne barrels, the French white dessert wine from Bordeaux, and we aged our T-Rex hugs in the Sauterne barrels, and one of them was in the bowling alley, and we found out that they were re-fermenting in the Sauterne barrels because a lady who was there to bowl pulled the bung out of the barrel, and there was just a massive explosive beer fountain. And she ran away, out of the building, never came back. I wasn't there. I like to think that she was wearing bowling shoes. I don't know. But fortunately, we managed to process that beer before it could oxidize much from that unfortunate incident,
Okay.
and it ended up super cool.
It was
But,
really good.
So thank you, mystery lady.
Well, yeah, thank you, Mystery Lady, for
Maybe
showing
that's
us
half
that
it.
barrel was under pressure.
And also that you probably shouldn't put beer that's aging in barrels in a bowling alley.
It'll probably not come up again.
Right on.
And then at this location, there's food
Oh yeah.
for. There's not a lot of food around here.
Food's
in
really
general,
good
so.
here.
Yeah, we got a big old smoker, and we're
Yeah.
offering brisket, pork belly, pulled pork,
Pastrami.
smoked chicken.
Pastrami's back?
Smoky
Pastrami.
pastrami.
Sleep on the
Got
pastrami.
It was
Hot links.
so
We've got
good.
some. We have a separate smoker that we're doing like vegan hot links and some
Oh, okay.
other.
Eventually fish. We haven't messed with that yet.
Really?
But not in the vegan
the
smoker. We have
sides-
2 little smokers.
The sides are also awesome. Like
Miso glazed carrots.
Those are one of my
the
favorites.
collards.
the collard greens with the smoked turkey.
Elotes.
Elotes are great.
have
The
been
Brussels
really
sprouts
popular.
are fantastic.
The elotes have been divisive, but mostly people love them. Some people
Just
want
didn't-
the buttery,
The crema.
which I didn't realize that was a thing. But yeah, people feel very strongly about
We should make
elotes.
T-shirts that say that.
Anyway, there's food here.
Yeah.
Yeah, people.
And it's
We've
really
been selling
good.
a lot of food.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like it's important because you have Cobra Lounge, All Rise there, they have food, but then other than that,
That's
there's
true.
really
That's like the
nothing.
only
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah, On Tour does a lot of food trucks, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do a lot of pop-ups and everything.
What I like about this place, man, is that it's built for a festival. Like you got this huge parking lot, you got the gate that separates it from the street.
Yeah, although we should mention that's not our parking lot, so
Oh,
people
okay.
shouldn't park there.
Nick, move your car.
But we are,
easy.
we're
I'll be
very
right back,
friendly
guys.
with the owners of that lot, and we would love to do a fest either in the parking lot or ask the city to let us take over Hubbard.
Yeah.
But and we're also planning on. We're still working on some of the licenses, but we're gonna open a patio that's gonna take up a little portion of the parking lot back here.
Which means people can bring their dogs, which is
Which is
awesome.
very big for our brand.
Right.
Yeah.
Although we're mostly cat people. Just-
I'm wearing my cat shirt today. So.
It also has aviators.
It's like Inception.
Nice.
Enough
So,
of that.
all right, so some good beers coming up. We got food, Illinois Craft Beer Week,
Yeah.
events happening.
Yeah, and if you guys haven't been here, you really should come check out this space, man. Conveniently located right here, just south of Grand on Ashland. There's these really cool lights from like Lightology or something that are just floating in the air. It's a really cool modern beer hall. I dig the aesthetic in this joint. It's nice.
Thanks.
Awesome.
We do.
I love how light it is. I mean, the skylights, the sort of open air, and we've spent the last few years at our production facility where there were no windows.
Great history there. The Jay's Potato Chip Factory. No windows.
But great history.
Yeah.
Were they
Well,
gone
even-
completely? Like when you guys showed up, was Jay's?
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
they've been gone for 10 or 15
10 years,
Okay.
yeah.
But the Lincoln location was also darkish.
Yeah,
It was pretty dark, yeah.
It was.
So yeah, this is nice. It's very welcoming and
Yeah, the window's open.
Oh yeah, those
Yeah,
windows
wonderful
open
on a sunny
all
day.
the way.
It's I took yesterday off and rode 33 miles around the city along the lake, but I kind of wanted to stop by just to see how it was.
It was nice. We were
All
here.
of the
It was
window
nice.
seats were taken.
Yeah.
When I showed up to try to do work that I was not able to do.
And we should mention you guys are closed Mondays. We were outside waiting to come in, and multiple people came up and were like,
Oh,
Thought it was the
they're
wrong day.
sad.
We're like,
We,
dude, showed up on
I
the
think
wrong day.
eventually we'll be open on Mondays,
Okay.
but as we, our opening went extremely well. I still feel blown away by that in terms of the amount of people we got in the door, but also the degree to which we maintained our level of service and kept things going, which is sort of terrifying. So we're taking Mondays off for now just because we get slammed over the weekend and we just need to regroup.
You need a break.
Do a little extra deep
Well, we
cleaning.
need to hire some more staff,
Dude,
which we're working on.
Yeah, although-
we've got some people starting, but it's like when you need 30% more coverage at any given hour. It's harder to.
So for now, it's
staff all the hours.
Tuesday through Thursday. We're opening at 3, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday we're opening at 11:30 a.m.
Yeah.
So
11.
got-
11:30.
11:30.
Yeah, we changed it.
Okay.
Did you get the memo down?
No, there wasn't.
Well, and I think the long-term goal is we'll be open at 11 Monday through Thursday, or I
Moving,
think.
yeah.
We're
7
gonna-
days.
7 days a
gonna-
week. Hopefully, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
play it by
Yeah.
ear, I think. But there are a lot of people working in this area and who seem to appreciate having another option for lunch. And also, a lot of people are just coming in early in the day with their laptops. We have a lot of power outlets and super good Wi-Fi, and people are just posting up and sipping a beer for 3 hours.
I would argue
working
it's
on
better
this.
than working at a coffee shop.
Yeah.
I would argue
Less
that.
crowded.
And we're going to work with Passion House to start offering some really good coffee soon. So yeah, I think it's a good spot. It's just a pleasant place to do work and maybe socialize a little bit. But if that's not what your goal is,
I like that it's a sensible alternative to what's going on in West Loop right now. Like West Loop's starting to change. It's a little different, I like this vibe too.
Like what do you mean?
Like I was at Kuma's and it was like I was getting like a pint of black IPA and it was like $9. And I was like, well, what are we doing here with this pint glass? And then like, why is it $9? I didn't understand it. Why is it does not look like the burger that
You're not making that
OG.
Google. You're not making that Google money, man. $9. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably just me. Yeah,
Rents are a little higher in West Loop than they are in Belmont.
But I think that, in my opinion, is a selling point to this as well, is because we're pricing our beers what we would expect to pay at a high-end craft beer bar, right? And we're considering the tip in that price. So all of our employees are paid a living wage, and they're not reliant on tips. They can just work here, talk about beer, and hang out. And honestly, can you think of a better job of just getting paid to hang out and drink beer with people? Like, I can't, but we have our lower ABV stuff that is still going to end up about $6.50 a pint, and then we have our specialty stuff that will be a little bit more. But I really do feel we have something for everybody here.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, this was great. Thank you guys for having us.
Thank you.
Excited to see what you guys do moving forward and all the beer that you have to brew now to stay ahead.
so much beer.
Lots to brew.
So much beer. We're already talking about adding more 7-barrel tanks.
Yeah, it's we are. It's a little silly. Might want to be open for another month before we roll that trigger.
Add more. Nice.
Before we add 6 more tanks.
Well, awesome. Yeah, if you're coming after Bug, make your way here for official after party, and otherwise
Unofficial.
unofficial. Sorry.
Official, unofficial.
Yeah.
After party is what it is, yeah.
But we'll all be here.
Nice.
And there'll be live music.
And we'll be,
Oh, nice.
It'll be a lot of fun. It's gonna be like, keep the party going.
Yes.
That's our tagline for that.
Bruce Springsteen. He's playing live. After Bug, you hear it here.
you heard it here first.
All right, great. Well, Nick and I will be back with probably Illinois Craft Beer Week preview episode or post Bug. Who knows
God help
how
us
we're
all,
doing.
man.
And
Craft beer week.
sounds good.
Back again.
Thanks for listening. Take care.
Cheers.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.